Everyone knows that Walt Disney World is the best place for groups to get together, family reunions, sports teams, dance teams, and maybe any type of a business event.
Yeah, just like we did with Agent Palooza in January. But what if you did those events on a Disney cruise? And that is what this week's show is all about. Plus, a Rob's Rant or an Are You Serious? I can't remember which, or is it both?
Let's find out.
Welcome to Disney Travel Secrets with your host, Rob and Kerri Stuart, the founders of Creating Magic Vacations and authorized Disney vacation planner. They are still a very popular Disney podcast, and not just with their friends and family. Every Monday for over 5 years, they've been bringing you the best and most up-to-date information about all things Disney. The parks, the cruises, and also the luxury of Adventures by Disney. Make sure to follow them on Instagram, where they share content that's mentioned on this very show. Now, here comes the rope drop.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to the show. I'm Rob Stewart, along with my wife, Kerri, and we are travel agency owners, authors, and former TV hosts. So that's our resume in less than 10 seconds.
And we are here in the CMV studios in Windermere, Florida, right next to Disney. And this is episode number 419, original air date February 24th, 2025.
And this is all about what you need to know about group cruising on Disney Cruise Line. So I am rocking my REO Speedwagon concert t-shirt today. It's a 3/4 sleeve, just like I wore in high school. So
Of course you are.
it's nice to see that those are back in style.
Are they really?
Probably just for the 80s bands. I get it.
Okay, but before we get to all that fun stuff, some shout outs to a couple of loyal listeners who let us know how their regular Monday routine is to listen on the way to work. So to kick off your week, hello to Kevin, who is headed to Disneyland for the first time this year. So excited for you.
We really do love that. And also, Sean and Krista out in California. We need to get you guys on your next cruise.
Yes, we do. I have a few in mind.
So if you filled out a form to work with us, you should have an email from the home office team. I think it's Clarissa that's doing these, with a very short video from us.
Yeah, it'll give you a good update. There are more details to come, though, in the next few weeks.
Or less than 2 weeks, because we are going to Europe the first week of March, and we're going to be gone for a few weeks.
I know. So excited about that. And I can't wait to cruise the Danube again. We've been before, and I'm really looking forward to it.
For those of you that fly Delta, you probably know these tasty little snacks called Biscoff. Now, are they cookies? Maybe they're crackers, probably more cookies, but you decide. So here's what I have. So for those of you on YouTube, this is why you watch YouTube, we kind of have this stuff. So these are the ones you get. These are just the typical, you get 2 crackers in a little packet. On our last flight, we'd gone out to California for our trip to the Grand Californian, and we're flying Delta, and we decided to kind of splurge and do business class. And so you can hear them crinkling. And not just the crackers, they gave us these. Now, you probably can't see these that well, but these are like little Biscoff Oreo cookies. So they're Biscoff cookies with a vanilla cream filling. So what I do, I get home and I may have just kind of said, I wonder.
I know. I was like, oh no, don't go down the rabbit hole.
I wonder if they have these on Amazon. And I found it was such a great deal. You get, I bought them by the case. So this is... There are 15 cookies here. Again, just check them out on Amazon. We don't have an affiliate link. We're not promoting, bad eating styles, but you get 15 of these, and then a case is like 9 of these. And these are amazing. For those of you that do like the Biscoff cookies, ask them if they have the Oreo style cookies on your next Delta flight. And if you're not flying Delta, just go on Amazon, try them out. You will not be disappointed.
I know. And then you could just pack them and bring them with you.
Well, no, because they're going to have them on
the Biscoff cookies to me were always a treat when you went on a Delta flight. And I always thought of it as like, when I fly Delta, I can get those really good Biscoff. I call them cookies. And I was always disappointed when they didn't have them. I don't like these little wafer, the ones with the filling, like Oreo cookies.
They were great. You had one, you liked it. So I
did not like it.
So going back to what I said earlier, they really, I guess they're more cookies than crackers, but they're packaged individually. We love them, but I have a feeling
they make you happy. So that's all that matters.
I also have a feeling it's probably time to move on.
Okay. So we have some Disney updates, and these start February 25th and are important for you to know before you go.
Yeah, the virtual queues for Tiana's Bayou and also Guardians of the Galaxy over at EPCOT are going away after February 25th. So if you're listening to this on the air date, they be gone after tomorrow. So my thoughts on this is you're going to be standing in really, really long lines. I mean, there are times when we would get the virtual queue and it was so long for me. Like if the virtual queue got where I could, like, if I walked in the door and the line came all the way back, if you guys don't know that little trash can there, I'd be like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah, because it definitely, I mean, it can be really long because that queue is deep.
If it comes out to just the front, like you're still inside the building, if it comes that far out, you're a good hour and a half from walking in until you get off that ride. So get used to seeing the line for Guardians coming out of the building and going down the side with, I think, a bunch of switchbacks, which we've seen before, which are going to be amazing in the summer heat.
Yeah, but they do have some like little tents. They will put some things out for shade. They have to.
But still, that's a hard no for me. I think if I ride, or when I ride Guardians of the Galaxy for the next time, it will be a paid lightning lane. That's just what I'm going to do. Tiana, I mean, we've ridden Splash Mountain enough.
Yeah.
We didn't even really try to get the virtual queue for Tiana anymore.
But one of the things, though, is we know how long that line is. If you are seeing the line come out to the door, it could be at least 90 minutes. But one of the things I do like, though, about this going away is there's no stress in the morning now for you to get that virtual queue. And I know for some people, it's super, super confusing. And so I think it takes it away. My recommendation, if you want to go on the ride, plan and budget to just purchase the individual lightning lane and do it as early as you can. You can do it 7 days, do it.
If you weren't getting that literally within the first probably 20 seconds after literally the atomic clock,
2 seconds.
the NASA clock, within the first 20 seconds, you were not getting it. So now, will it affect the price of the individual lightning lane for these? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But we know people will absolutely stand in line for these.
They will,
sure. Yeah.
just like they do with Rise as soon as they took that away.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing that's coming up, I'm super excited about, is Flower and Garden Festival is starting up next week.
Already.
So if you are coming down, definitely check out the concert schedule for Garden Rocks. I'm looking forward to at least hitting a few of those.
I have not, I will admit, I have not looked at the complete concert series, although I really wanted to see the DiCarlo band, which is Tommy DiCarlo. It's the music of Boston. He became
so good.
And he became their next lead singer. I don't think they're touring as Boston right now. Tommy DiCarlo does still tour. And we became friends with August Zadra, who is the lead guitarist. And he also, we found out, is also the guitarist for Dennis DeYoung, former lead singer of Styx. And I was texting him like, hey, so I know you guys are coming back out. When is it? He's like, oh yeah, I think he said it was like March, it's like 7th, 8th, and the 9th. I'm like, of course you are, because we'll be in Europe.
Yeah.
Can you believe this? I mean, it's crazy. Another EPCOT festival already.
This one, though, is definitely my favorite, and maybe we can try to get my mom down because she really enjoyed it. She's only been to one festival, though.
We will fly Mom down. I would love to see her again. It's been too long. So I think mine is probably Festival of the Arts. Food and wine to me is just too crazy. I think Flower and Garden is right up there. I mean, fantastic weather. We love coming out of the brutally cold winters here at Disney.
I know, I'm wearing long sleeves today.
And I'm wearing 3/4 sleeves, as we talked about in the open. And it's the weather coming down from some of these brutal. It got down to the low 50s today.
I know. No.
Okay, and it's single digits up in St. Louis where I'm from.
Yeah, and there's negative digits way up north. But okay, moving on to this week's main topic.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about doing a group cruise on Disney Cruise Line and our pro tips on the best way to do this exact type of trip. Now, again, as we mentioned, a group, it could be a family reunion, an alumni group, a group of friends, maybe just some neighbors who like to travel together. We live in a neighborhood where we know, like, a lot of our friends, they just go out and they will, we'll book them a trip. And 4 or 5 of their friends are like, I want to go. We call that FOMO, of course.
And, I think we've all seen those large family groups at Disney World. They're in their matching shirts, and it looks like a super fun idea. But a land option can be a lot to manage.
I totally agree, which is why you need a travel agent specifically for that. But our biggest tip is if you want to do a group, think big, but expect a small response, at least for the first time. So what we've seen is, like, a group needs to see the first people book. So don't wait until everyone is on board. Just go ahead, they're meaning on board with the idea. Just go out there and book it, and we promise you will not regret it.
So one of the things is you may want to start small, which is a good thing, and have a successful one. It's going to grow. And most people will think, oh, you know what? Just getting the family to go to Disney World as a large group is going to be super easy. Well, spoiler alert, it's not for Walt Disney World.
Of course, you can do private events at Walt Disney World, like, weddings and events. But now we're looking at added costs because they're going to pay for everything, food and drinks being a big one. But it is 100% doable. We have a better way, and that is a group cruise on a Disney ship.
And I will say these are our favorite type of group trips for so many reasons.
One of the biggest things when it comes to a cruise is, for the most part, everything's included. I get it, not the adult beverage. But it makes it easier for people that are going to be doing this on a budget because they can plan for it. If it's Walt Disney World, you can say, okay, I think it's going to be this. I'm going to get some gift cards. I'll do the dining plan. But until you're here, you really don't know. And so when it's a cruise, it's really easy to get people to really like the idea and the concept.
Yeah. And so with a group cruise, if you do have like a small group of people, you can get some additional perks, like maybe you get free party space, a dedicated meeting space for meetups, and of course you get to dine together. And that's one of my favorite things, is because during the day, everybody can go and do their own thing, and then everybody reconnects over dinner to discuss what they did that day.
And of course, if you're familiar with cruising, you do know the meals are included. You also have built-in entertainment, and there really, really is something for everyone of any age.
Yeah, and one of the things I've noticed over the years as well when it comes to a Disney cruise is when you do your first family cruise, and especially with a group, it may start with 1 or 2 families, but once it's done, it keeps growing and growing. You know why? Because people have FOMO.
Yes, they do.
So it makes planning the next one so much easier.
Definitely fear of missing out. If you do like the idea of a group cruise, whether it's Disney or, any other cruise line, work with a travel agent who really knows the product. They know how to do all the things that are involved in making that work with a group.
Yeah. And so I was talking to a cast member at Disney Cruise Line, and she was telling me that there was a family who called in. They had 60 people that called direct and booked. And she said, I wanted so bad to tell them that they should be working with a travel advisor to book this.
She can't do that.
She can't do that because she knows how complicated and all those components are. But for us travel agents, it's super easy. And of course, as a group leader, imagine this. You're going to get lots of questions about the ship, the requirements, and there's a lot of information to collect. Let a professional do it, and it's not going to cost you anything extra.
Also, so think about this, is you can be the Pied Piper. You can be the person that says, hey, come with me. We're going to do a group cruise. And yet your travel agent does all the work.
Yeah, you're going to look like a hero for sure.
So when it comes to the different types of group cruises on a Disney cruise, there's basically 2 types. One is, it's pretty easy. One's official and one is unofficial, and they are very different.
Yeah, so the unofficial is basically you have maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cabins.
Or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to keep counting? What are we doing here?
And you just link those together so you do things together like dining.
So official is very different. You have to have a minimum of 28 adults and 14 cabins. And not only do you have to guarantee those cabins, if you only sell 12, you're paying for 14 regardless, which makes them a lot more complicated.
Yeah, and if the payment's a little bit different too, because with group cruises on Disney, you pay one lump sum, which means one person needs to collect all of the funds and then they pay Disney. So Disney just has a different system for groups if you've ever done one on another cruise line.
And it really is totally different from every other cruise line out there. It's basically like Disney says, you really want a group? Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money!
So I get the 14, 16 cabin guarantee. If they didn't have you guarantee space that has strict cancellation policies, I know travel agencies would just grab up all that space on these Disney cruises and try to sell into it. And just like you do with any other cruise line, but Disney has a high demand, so they don't need that for groups.
Now, this is kind of strange because even the smaller river cruises in Europe, you can still block space. Disney's just very different because everybody in the world that's an agent would go grab 20 cabins. Okay, guys, I have 20 cabins. I've locked in the pricing. So we totally understand why Disney does not do that. It just makes way more business sense.
So step number 1 is decide what cruise you're going to do. You're going to pick the ship and you're going to secure the dates. And then you're going to figure out if you need to do an official group or if you're going to do that unofficial one. So you can then get your pricing locked in and the due dates for things like the deposits and other payments. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and start inviting and booking people. And this is where we can really, really help.
A really great idea is if you're going to be cruising on Disney, group or otherwise, and you're cruising from Port Canaveral, that is only an hour from Walt Disney World. So you can do a pre or post stay, maybe do a couple days in the park before, do the cruise and you're done, or do the cruise and come back to Disney World for a few days after. So after all that is set, then we can start looking at the extras like a special group experience on board, a group shore excursion that is exclusive to your group.
Yeah, those have been some of my favorites. And in fact, one of my favorites that we ever did with a big group was we chartered a catamaran in the Bahamas, and you can do this in the Caribbean, and it just made for an extra special time. There's just so many things you can do when it comes to a cruise, and I think this is the best way. If you've never done a family reunion or a family get-together, think about doing it on a Disney cruise. And now it's time for a first, Rob's Are You Serious Rant.
I will say, since moving up here to the greater Orlando area, every city has a rants, rave, and reviews group on Facebook. 3 R's in a row. I don't know who did that. But if you guessed that 95% of those group posts are rants, you would be right.
I know. But rants are bad, right?
Yes, dear. So for this one, it was kind of both. So here's the gist. Someone shared a picture of a cheer and dance mom. Trust me, I know that's what they were. And she had cordoned off an area in EPCOT, kind of over by the China area, like between maybe between Norway and China-ish. And I mean, blocked off an entire area. I counted the backpacks in the picture, and she made like a big semicircle, and she was sitting against the fence. And there were 22 backpacks. Now, how do I know it was a cheer or dance mom? It was the timing and who was in the park that day. So anywho, it was still broad daylight in this picture, which means she was saving this spot for the nighttime shows, probably about 4, maybe 5 hours away. So first, this is not allowed. And second, I was blown away by several people that were defending her, saying, and I quote, "People need to relax. Who cares? Live and let live, people. If she wants to sit and hold space so the rest of her party can enjoy themselves, good on her. If you don't like it, move along. Go reserve your spot. So many people in this world want to make everything their business. It's annoying as hell." I will say that comment did not age well. Now, mine was just, you're not allowed to hold and reserve space. End of story. The next person said, well, I kind of care. If 10 more moms thought they and their kids are better than the other guests and did this every night, that's pretty selfish. If you want a special reserve spot, pay for the dining package. Now, I totally agree, because this was not only disruptive, but I think also in some ways very dangerous, because, everybody's walking around on their phone. And all of a sudden you have a little...
It was a huge footprint.
It was like the Great Wall of China, since it was close to China. The Great Wall of China with backpacks. And the mom was just sitting on her phone like, yeah, I own this territory. And I will say, again, don't do that. That is just bad. What if 20 other moms or dads, I'm not saying this is a mom or dad thing. What if they said, I'm going to block this area? It's like, yeah, try that stuff at Magic Kingdom for their evening fireworks. You just can't do it. And I will say, again, I didn't know if it was an Are You Serious or a Rob's Rant, but I like how you put it. This is the first Rob's Are You Serious Rant.
No, it was pretty crazy though. I saw that picture and I was like, wow. I mean, that's eating into the traffic pattern quite a bit. If
you have something that you think should be on Disney Travel Secrets, whether it's a Rob's Rant or an Are You Serious?
Or an Are You Serious Rant?
Yeah, we can do that as well. Send it to me. You guys know how to reach out. Back in the day, I used to put out my personal email address. I no longer do that. That got a little bit out of hand. But yeah, send it to us. Send it to us through social media. And if it makes the show, we will send you some kind of a prize. We don't know what it is yet, because we literally just made this stuff up on the spot.
Yeah, but you know what? I do see us doing some drawings in the month of March. And so make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and we're going to be giving away some fabulous prizes.
Yes, we are.
We do. We have some fun stuff.
So thank you again for joining us. And until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon, and maybe with your group on a Disney cruise.